Are you like pro-life, or where do you think you'd land?
Oh, I definitely land on the side here, pro-life. Yeah, everything that you said, right? Like, I totally agree with. Like, that's right. That's just a biblical concept.
Do you think you would line up with like abolition?
Yeah, probably more on that side. Cause
yeah. What do you think, man?
I'm all in for it.
You're what?
I totally agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Cool, man. What's your name?
Isaac.
Elijah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Biblical name, Isaac.
Yeah. Well,
cool.
So,
are you like pro-life, or where do you think you'd land?
Oh, I definitely land on the side here, pro-life. Yeah.
Are you aware of like the differences between like abolition and pro-life, abolitionist position and pro-life? Does that ring any bells?
No. Yeah. Explain it to me.
Yeah. So the main differences is that pro-lifers would be okay with exceptions, and abolitionists would not, because it's a human life. It's an innocent human life. Murder is the unjustified, premeditated taking of innocent human life.
Yeah.
So we would say that even if, the child is conceived in rape or whatever, it needs to be protected.
Yeah.
And yes, that's very difficult for the mother. Horrible situation. We need to take care of mothers like that, but we want to protect them.
Yeah.
We want to protect the babies and the mothers. And then the other, a couple other differences are like, we're unashamed about, the foundation is the Bible. We're just unashamed of that. And then the last thing, well, there's two more things, I guess. One is the pro-life, and you may not be aware of this, but have you heard of the second victim narrative? Does that ring a bell?
It does ring a bell. But
so, like, the woman would be, they say the woman is a victim of abortion, is how they phrase it.
I see.
And we would say, no, that's not the case, unless she's actually a victim.
Yeah.
So, like, rape or, whatever else. Then she's a victim of rape.
Yeah.
But as far as the abortion is concerned, the child is the only victim there.
Yeah.
So we would be against that, and so we would be for everyone involved in an abortion, not just the abortionist, being taken to court and being, so for that life to be equally protected, right?
Yeah.
And then the last thing, which, well, before I get to that, what do you think of those so far?
Yeah, I think all that's good. I know that there are definitely some more extenuating circumstances, like when the mother's life is at risk, that I think makes it tricky. Like, if you have to choose between, do you save the mother? Do you save the child? Right? I think that gets tricky, even from a biblical standpoint.
So I don't think it's that tricky. I used to. Yeah. So I'm not like dogging on you or anything. Yeah. I'm just saying I don't think it's that tricky. And the reason why I say that is because the goal always has to be to save life, right?
Yeah.
And so abortion is just defined as, like, the CDC definition is just going in there, killing the baby, preventing a live birth.
Okay. Yeah.
So what I would tell people like you is that the goal always matters, and we have to have the goal to save life, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I think people get like caught up on a lot is ectopic pregnancies. So that's when the baby gets stuck in the fallopian tubes.
Yeah.
And the abolitionist position, well, number one, the CDC's definition of abortion does not include ectopic treatment.
Okay.
So that's, first of all, that's really convenient because we can just say abortion is murder, and that's just true.
Yeah.
And so, but in the case of ectopic, what we would say is that try to save that baby, but right now we don't have the technology for that. So you try to take the baby out alive, and you're not going to be able to save it at this point. However, China is currently saying that they have reimplanted an ectopic pregnancy into the womb.
Wow.
I mean, you kind of take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
A grain of Chinese salt. But, yeah. But anyways, they say that they've reimplanted it.
Yeah.
And technology's constantly changing. So hopefully technology will catch up and we'll be able to care for that baby. But yeah, the baby would have to be, removed and alive if at all possible. And then unfortunately it would die. But that's a procedure to try to save life.
I see. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that doesn't even the abortion issue doesn't even cover that.
And the bills of equal protection that we support, that pro-lifers have unfortunately completely opposed.
Yeah.
Would allow for ectopic treatment. So that's the other interesting thing, is that in Louisiana there was a bill of equal protection brought to the floor.
Yeah.
And what's up, Michael? That bill of equal protection would have totally criminalized abortion.
Yeah.
Okay? And the pro-choicers didn't even have to speak against it that day, because the pro-lifers came and they spoke against it.
Wow.
And they actually wrote a letter. I actually have it in my pocket because it just comes up so much. They actually wrote a letter, 70 pro-life organizations, to the lawmakers, telling them that the mother who aborts her child is a victim, and we do not support this legislation that would totally end abortion in Louisiana.
Huh. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That seems so backwards.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
So before I made the switch to becoming an abolitionist, I thought the end goal was the same. I thought the end goal was the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You probably thought so too.
Yeah. I didn't even.
You didn't even know.
Yeah. Didn't even know the difference. Didn't even know there was a discrepancy, or that big a discrepancy, that the whole goal would change. Yeah. That's insane.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Yeah. Well, that's, I don't know, right? Like everything that you said, right? Like I totally agree with. Like that's right. That's just a biblical concept of saving
Life.
preserving life, right? The sanctity of life.
100%.
But yeah, it's so crazy that even people who claim to have the same like pro-life would still, right? That whole letter seems so contradictory.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And the more you look into it, the worse it gets. It's one of those things where it's just shocking. So that's what we're out here to tell people about, man. I really appreciate you stopping by. So you think you would line up with like abolition?
Yeah, probably more on that side, because
Yeah.
you know, right? Like that one situation doesn't really apply to abortion, doesn't fit that definition.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's kind of the only reason where I ever see conflict in kind of like the mother unborn child area. But beyond that, right? Like, you know, I think abortion is.
The other thing I'll add right there, just to help you out, if other people are talking to you or whatever, I have just never heard of a medically necessary reason to get a abortion, like a technical abortion.
Yeah.
C-sections are incredibly safe in the third trimester.
Yeah.
It's like the death rate for mothers is almost zero.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very low.
Yeah.
So, anyways, things to think about.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, you guys are brave for stepping out here with the...
Oh, we get spit at and stuff, but it's no big deal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you got people who definitely don't take your side on this, for sure.
Yeah, we still got the spit right there.
Oh, wow.